Friends, welcome back. So this week, because still recovering, the neck surgery went well. Thanks for all you that reached out and asked, but still can't turn very well, so probably shouldn't be driving and videoing. So here we are. Today we're going to feature Icon FJ44, built in the new school style, and it is number 183. Really nice truck. Started out as a 6440 that someone took apart to restore, then moved and then got robbed by the machinist, stole the motor, on and on and on. The guy gave up after 10 years and said, I quit. And unfortunately he had blasted it to bare metal, so it sat in his backyard for 10 years. So really it being turned into an Icon was its only chance at life. So here it is, and it came out really nice. It is a really cool truck. Let's get into it. All right, so new school stuff going on here. So of course we have the wonderful Warn Xeon 10S, 10,000 pound rated winch from Warn Industries. It's got the synthetic cable, sexy fair lead, and then full recovery gear package included with the truck as well. We've got the aircraft landing lights that are flush mounted into our front bull bar. Extremely high output for such a small little light. And then our bull bar is our design, made here in the US. Super stout, 2 ship chain hook points for pulling your friend's Land Rover out. Just saying. Icon branded headlights. These are the cool ones with the halo rings. And then also for turn signal indication, those flash when your turn signal is on. Really nice high output, and all lighting in the Icon is LED, stem to stern. Our signature black powder coat finish on the bumper, the hood hooks, the side mirrors, our wheels, the optional roof rack and ladder, which by the way is removable. We give you these cool little 4-post like block off plates and rubber insulators. So if you need to take the rack off, you're just not going to be using it, you can dismount the rack and the ladder, put those caps on to keep the water tightness of the soft top, and party on, especially for towny use because it lowers your height, because these are tall enough that for most like in-town parking garages it gets a little sketchy, especially in their big cities. New school wheels, those are forged, those are aluminum. Yes, I know, they're 18 inches. Look, you want a 16 so bad that you want me to put crappy brakes on it? I don't think so. Even if you do, I don't want to do it because I love my Brembo Sport brakes, and they're big. Massive stopping power. So 6 pistons in the front. The rotors are bigger than a 15 or 16 inch rim anyway. And they're just a really well-made US crafted wheel. Of course, in the rear, sometimes we've shown you footage of it. It's one of the really kind of few superfluous things going on at Icon, but you've got these floater center caps. So at speed, the Lizard stays floating, which I don't know, personally, I get a giggle out of it. I dig it. This one has our optional upgraded sport suspension. So that means you have nitrogen charged 12-inch travel, 2.5-inch body Fox Racing shocks, Eibach coils. Now the coil shock relationship is tunable, but there's really no reason to screw with that. So are the sway bars, but unless you're like doing King of the Hammers, not really much reason to screw with that because they're so capable even with them in the street setting. But really the remote canisters with these 2 different knurled knobs allow you to adjust the rebound fast rate as well as the rebound slow rate on all 4 corners, and that works really well. Icon rear bumper, that is our dual pivot design. So you've got the Jerry Carrier LED reverse light, reverse camera buried in the middle, class 2 receiver and chain points that notice were engineered not to decrease your departure angle. And then of course, spare tire carrier. So the way that works, once you unlatch it and it swings out, it travels up this little aluminum ramp, and then the spring pin slides up that ramp and then back down in a cavity, and it will lock this spare so it doesn't continue out into traffic. Yes, that sucks. That happened to me many years ago. Not a fun insurance claim. Then you manually lift that pin to return and bring it back to its parked position. You also have these nifty little locking basins with drains in them for your off-road gear, your dirty gloves, or whatever the heck you want to put in there, but whatever, it was dead space. Figure we might as well use it. You've got knurled shaft that this carrier rides upon that is fluted, so then you can utilize these Zerk fittings to keep that motion nice and fluid. This truck's also set up with a pretty cool deal. This is one of our 2 optional tailgate configurations. This is referred to as the bifold, well, because, well, it's bi and it folds. So, you know, with a drop-down tailgate, you do get the storage compartment that locks on the inside plane, but at the same time, this setup is also, you know, it just has value in a different manner. So if you're often going to be in and out of the back, it really eases that. We've been doing these Amp Research powered steps for the rear cargo, and see, I would have only had to have unzipped the window, open the jerry, and open one door to access the 3rd row. So up to you, but that's one of the configurations that we offer, and this one seems to have been growing in popularity recently. While I'm back here, this client opted for a full, very low grain texture, so very smooth, beautiful, very dark gray, almost black leather. We did the Icon jump seats in the rear. These jump seats, while they appear to be the stock Toyota ones, they were obviously inspired by the stock Toyota ones, but they really had a lot of problems. And to Toyota's credit, I mean, those problems didn't show up for decades, but now that these trucks are so old, we're seeing a lot of failure in the hinge point. So we redesigned these so they're much sturdier. The mounts are more solid. And we also added about 5 degrees of rake in the back, so it's not as brutally upright and uncomfortable as the stock ones were. These seats are ideal if you're often intending to have a lot of cargo in the back, because when they're folded up, they're completely out of the way, and your rear floor has no brackets or seat belts or any crap in your way whatsoever. This client also opted for 1, sometimes we do 2, sometimes we do none, he did 1, of our Tuffy manufactured Icon specific lock boxes. So it's a gun rated security steel powder coated box. It's fixed anchored here in the back, and people would be hard pressed to break into it. Carpets on this truck, we did really cool inserts on the seats that traditionally we've done more, well, only on the Broncos, but it's the old kind of like houndstooth print, so it's black and white, and it just kind of breaks up the black and gray interior a little bit. To complement that, we did the Hagen Square Vive logs that's hemmed in vinyl, and it's a nice organic material, super durable, long lasting, really nice material. And we line that in Dynamat to give you a little bit more sound and insulation from vibration. Oh, before I leave, the audio system we're always talking about up in the front while we're back here. The audio on these, this one is the elevated audio, so that means it comes with, well, all of the audio systems come with the Pioneer NEX head units with CarPlay, tethered or tetherless, Bluetooth, great nav, CD, AM, FM, blah, blah, blah. And then your options with our audio packages is you can add the reverse camera. You can also add the XM. And then if, I really think you should anyway, and the price is trivially different, just go ahead and do our elevated audio. That gets you the Focal K2 speakers with separates and slightly higher output and crisper. Our soft top we're really proud of. It's 7 layers of material. It is insulated. It is super durable, but still soft top. So when you're flying along on the freeway, it's nice to have the elevated audio system. You're just going to get better performance. On the passenger side in the rear, in the speaker housing, we integrate a little power port, which again, it's just a nice little feature to have back here. There's actually a bunch of different power ports in the truck. We also have, in the back of the center console, We have a standard old Siggy Jack style power port, and then we also have 2 USB high-speed power ports behind waterproof water covers. And then of course you see that LED that lights up the floor in the back, and then you have the cup holders. Some people want them, some people don't. For the rear, it's also on the front, and the pen holder. We always, in the production icons, include the icon pen in the front one, which is a really cool pen. They're made by friends for us in Germany. They're real high quality. They're machined aluminum. They're a rifle action. They use common, easy to find, refillable ink cartridges. And I don't know, they're just kind of nifty. This is sort of the quintessential new school build due to the volcanic black color and all the black trim and wheels. This is probably the most popular setup for the new school. I find the old school buyers generally get a little funkier and more creative with their color palettes, but it seems for new school, Sahara tan, Rocky Mountain gray, and volcanic black are still dominant across all the builds. And frankly, I don't blame them. If I could afford one, I think I'd do volcanic black for my new school. So this 44 is set up really nicely. We've got all of our favorite options and a couple unique features. So powertrain, of course, we are running the General Motors 6.2 LS3. Now we modify that and we run the Vortec truck application intake and injectors, and then remap the computer so that the power curve is more appropriate for a truck application. Delivers about 440 horsepower and torque, and is really just an incredibly smooth, powerful, reliable motor, and never had a problem with them. I just love them. This client fortunately had the wisdom to put the Ace & Warner AX15 5-speed transmission behind that wonderful engine. I just love these manuals. They're so much fun to drive. Nice hydraulic clutch, nice and light, doesn't rip your leg off like a 930 turbo or something, so really livable even in traffic and around town, no problem. Paired as always with our Atlas 2 twin stick shift on the fly part-time 4-wheel drive 2-speed transfer case. 3.8 range in low, 1-to-1 in high. You'll notice 2 stalks, which sometimes confuses people, but it's pretty simple. Front axle control, rear axle control. Now it is designed to not let you do something catastrophic, so it can only do things that mechanically it can do. Meaning, you can be rear wheel drive, normal highway cruising, or low range rear wheel drive. Then 4-wheel drive high range or 4-wheel drive low range. Adding all of that control to being able to control your locking differentials, rear only or front and rear, ultimate traction control works out really nice. Shifter on our 5-speed is our own design, kind of a classic 8-ball deal. The icon branding is quite subtle. It's hidden here on the back plane. And then the shifters for the Atlas, those are machined aluminum and powder coated and then lasered with the function indication. And then that is sending power through 1310 U-joints down to our Curry Industries built icon specific axles. That is a Dana 60 high pinion in the rear and a 44 high pinion in the front with fine spline axles. In the center of those Curry Industry assemblies, you will find the ARB locking differentials, front and rear, with a dedicated air compressor. The mandrel bent stainless steel exhaust system on this truck has our optional ceramic coating. It's black, looks really cool on these monochromatic, dark and moody new school builds. And nice resonance, good tone, not obnoxious, but if you put your foot into it, people certainly will know you have. And let's see, all the dash and everything, that's all standard new school fare that y'all are pretty familiar with by now. And it's probably enough of me blabbing, but hey, at least on this video, you weren't looking at my old head mostly. You were looking at the truck details. We spent a lot more time on the pretty B-roll for you. Did you like that change in format? What else would you like to see us do or change up with the brand? All ears, love your input. Trying to think of new content and new ideas, new ways to show you what we're up to and what makes an icon an icon. So anyway, until next time, I appreciate your time and attention and support for our brand and everyone who works with us. If you have any questions, reach out to us on social media. It's always icon4x4, give or take. And old school website is icon4x4.com. Older school telephone is 818-280-3333. That's it till next time. Be good to yourself, be kind to others. See ya.